obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Across Iowa, you don't have to look far to find a bank that's got your back. From just around the corner to the next town over, hundreds of neighborhood banks are going the distance to ensure your future looks brighter than ever. By providing jobs, supporting local businesses, strengthening communities, and helping your dreams become reality. Here, the life you build is backed by Iowa banks. See how banks are making a difference near you at iowabankers.com.
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts, providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Good morning and welcome to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa, the home of the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. Alongside Laura Leonard, I'm Larry Morgan, and in just a moment we'll have the matchup between the 3rd seed Waterloo West Wahawks and the 6th seed Ankeny Centennial Jaguars right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company. Well, Lori, it's a rematch of the quarterfinal between these two last year.
Yeah, and Waterloo West was able to advance a year ago. It was a highly contested ball game. This is going to be offense versus defense here in this matchup.
And two legendary coaches square off.
Yeah, Scott DeYoung and Tony Pappas, and they got their roots in the 6-on-6 game. So
Absolutely.
Interesting to see how they have evolved.
And they're now 2-3 among active coaches in terms of total victories. When we come back, we'll dive deeper into today's game with our Seeds for Success presented by Kruger Seeds. Plus, we'll have your starting lineups as we get set for tip-off. You're watching the 2023 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the Bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion. Because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, You get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
It's the 5A quarterfinals. One team has already advanced, the second seed Johnston, with a 70-48 victory over the 7th seed Southeast Polk. Now, the winner of this game will face off against them on Thursday morning. It's Ankeny Centennial 17-6 and Waterloo West 22-1. Let's meet the public address announcer for the introductions.
Hello, basketball fans, and welcome to today's 2023 Girls State Basketball 5A quarterfinal matchup featuring the visiting team, Ankeny Centennial, the Jaguars. And the home team, the Waterloo West Wahawks. Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Let's hear it for them. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by Centennial High School and Waterloo West High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Abby Schmidt, a member of the IGHSAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Centennial High School, Harper Stribe and Nolan Stribe. And from Waterloo West High School, Dave and Ann Richter. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by participants, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to enjoy the game. Now, basketball fans, it's time to introduce the players in today's 5A quarterfinal matchup. First of all, here are your non-starters for the Centennial Jaguars. Number 1, Ava Martin. Number 14, Finley Blackmore. 23, Tilly Smith. 30, Ryland Bading. 32, Macy Smith. And 35, Kylan Smith. Your assistant coaches, David Runchie, Andy Fain, Rachel Schmidt, and Dennis Albertson. Now let's meet our non-starters for the West Waterloo Wahawks. Number 10, Sydney Wass. Number 12, Hannah Begbie. Number 20, Nia McGee. Number 22, Olivia Torres. 34, Allison Landers. 42, Shatira Wright. 44, Kalia Gladney. 50, Danica Raggi. And 52, Alyssa Bagby. Your assistant coaches for the Wahawks, AJ Cassidy, Andrea Harold, Larry Kubitz, Allie Richter, Gary Sidwell, Gabby Schwarting, Austin Smith, Owen Smith, Lincoln Borba, and Dean Wyden. And now, here are your starters for this 5A quarterfinal. For Centennial at guard, a sophomore, number 4, Jaden Pratt. For West Waterloo at guard, a senior, number 14, Hallie Pope. At guard for Centennial, a sophomore, number 5, Maya Crawford. At guard for West, a junior, number 24, Charlotte Getman. At guard for Centennial, a senior, number 10, Avery Porter. At guard for West, a senior, number 30, Isabel Liederman. For Centennial at guard, a senior, number 11, McKenna Clark. At a forward position for West, a senior, number 32, Sahara Williams. And for Centennial forward, a senior, number 24, Kennedy White. For Waterloo West at forward, a senior, number 40, Sierra Moore. Head coach for the Jaguars, Scott DeJong. And for West, Dr. Anthony Pappas. Now, ladies and gentlemen, turn your attention to the area in front of our scores bench as we introduce our officials for today's 5A quarterfinal as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Matt Schull, Mark Worth, and Patrick Ensminger. All ready. Who's ready for state tournament basketball?
And before we begin today's game, we'd like to once again thank Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, for their support. The Iowa Farm Bureau has an office located in each county across Iowa. We'd like to thank the offices listed on your screen for their support of the two teams playing in our game today. Thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau, for supporting IGHSAU and the Iowa Girl. And Laura, now let's take a look at our seeds for success.
Well, if you're looking at what Centennial needs to do, they need to win the battle of the boards, and they need to keep them off the offensive glass. So they're going to have to go to the defensive glass really hard. They need to step to the basketball. This defense of West will jump the passing lanes, especially Sahara Williams. So they have to step to every pass. And then for Waterloo West, execute offensively, because this Centennial defense is so good. They will get right up in your space and be all over you, and then handle the pressure defense, because it's going to be right there. Have to figure out ways to get them out of position.
Today's Seeds for Success were brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Learn more at krugerseed.com. So we are set for this matchup between the 3rd seed Wahawks and the 6th seed Jaguars. And it'll be an interesting matchup as Waterloo West has 2 Division I recruits, including Sahara Williams, who, by the way, is not the all-time leading scorer in Waterloo West in the lineup today.
No, and that's crazy. And you look at it's Hallie Polk, who is the all-time scoring leader at Waterloo West. But those two, between the two of them, they combine for about 43, 44 points a game.
And these coaches combined for more than 600 victories apiece. Dr. Anthony Pappas, the coach at Waterloo West, with 622 victories. Scott DeYoung, the coach at Ankeny Centennial, 684. They are second and third in the state among active coaches in victories. And here's a steal on the opening play, and the drive by Polk results in 2 for Waterloo West.
You could see that extended defense of West. They came out, they really extended that zone, and they get the hands in the passing lane.
And that's something that the Jaguars have to be aware of as it happens again. Once again, it's Polk with the steal, and once again, it's Polk with the layup.
Well, and that's exactly what Scott DeYoung talked about, is stepping to the basketball. Don't let them get in that passing lane. Maybe a ball fake will get that defense out of position, but you can see how high the top part of that zone is coming out.
Maya Crawford averages 8 a ball game. She gets it in the corner, and the three-point shot is short by Avery Porter. The offensive rebound and the shot put up by McKenna Clark won't go, and the Jaguars will get a third chance, and this time it's a really good look inside to get Jaden Pratt a basket.
Boy, great look inside by Clark. They did go to the offensive glass hard, and they're going to have to continue to do that.
Crawford with a big steal. Centennial down with 2 quick baskets, but coming right back with a basket of their own. Here's the steal by Williams. Here is the finish by Williams. Sahara Williams, ranked number 23 in the country, a 5-star recruit headed for Oklahoma.
And, you know, she does such a good job of reading that passing lane. And you have to, when you're making that cross-court pass, that's a long way to make that pass. That gives the defense time to recover. And that's exactly what Williams did. She got there, got to the ball quicker.
Driving to the baseline is Crawford. She is stopped by the defense, so she swings it the other direction. But a violation is spotted inside. An offensive foul called against Ankeny Centennial.
Kennedy White setting the illegal screen is what they're calling. She was just trying to get the back screen to see if they could pop Porter open.
So we mentioned that Sahara Williams headed for Oklahoma. Hallie Polk headed for Bradley, which means she'll be back in Des Moines a few times in her career.
She'll be able to make the trek over to Des Moines, and that's a good pickup for the Bradley Braves. They are in a rebuilding mode over there in Peoria, and this is a good place to start your rebuilding project with a point guard like Hallie Polk.
Williams picking up an offensive foul for the Wallhawks.
Well, you know, it's both of these teams trying to settle in. You're seeing the defense. I said it was going to be defense versus offense. Right now, I think it's defense versus defense.
So far, Porter gets the ball on the baseline. Pratt with the move, kicks it back outside to Clark, and Clark drills a 3. McKenna Clark, that is her 34th 3 of the season.
And Pratt did a good job. She could have turned the other way over the other shoulder and would have been wide open. Instead, she kicks it out.
Baseline feed intended for C.C. Moore. You know, we talk about Polk and you talk about Williams. C.C. Moore, 17 points, 10 rebounds against Centennial in this matchup last year.
Yeah, she is really, you have Hallie Polk, you have Sahara Williams, and you have C.C. Moore. 3-headed monster, really, and she doesn't get a whole lot of attention because of the attention that the other two get, but she is a strong presence in the middle.
Pratt gets the foul, sending Williams to the line for an and one.
You could see how Williams just fought through all the traffic. They set a couple of screens for her, and she was able to pop open.
Williams averages 21.2. That is second best in 5A. She also averages 10 rebounds, so a double-double for her every night out, basically. 33 points and 12 rebounds against Waukee in the regional final. Here's the look from 3 that won't go by Avery Porter. And the loose basketball kicked out of bounds by the Wallhawks.
Boy, what a great hustle, knowing that that shot is going to come up short. Hustle in after it and knock it off the defense to keep the possession.
Avery Porter on the inbounds. On top it comes to Maya Crawford, whose dad is the assistant men's basketball coach at Iowa State. Lob inside, and moving to the basket is Kennedy White, can't finish. Offensive rebound, though, and Maya Crawford scores. And thus far, it has been the Jaguars that have been more effective on the offensive glass.
And they've gone to the offensive glass. They've gotten the 50-50 balls as well, giving themselves a couple of opportunities. Credit Jaden Pratt for going to the ground and keeping that one live.
C.C. Moore swings it over to Isabel Lederman. Almost a takeaway there, but a nice recovery by Williams. She spins and scores. And when she gets the ball there, she is virtually unstoppable.
Yeah, it's very tough to slow her down when she gets in there. She's got the size, she's got the strength, and she's got the good footwork.
One of the coaches has said about her that she is more or less a three, a small forward who has the energy and strength of a big forward, of a power forward.
Yeah, and she just knows how to play within her game, knows how to use her skills, and if she has to mix it up inside, she's going to mix it up inside.
Pratt hits the bank and makes it a 1-point game. Isabel Liederman, a 5'11 senior, on the inbounds. Slips off the hands of Moore, and it's picked up by the Jaguars, who have a chance to take their first lead of the afternoon. On the high post, it comes to Pratt. She looks down low, and the pass is a little bit wide for Kennedy White.
A little too tall, but they did find the gap in this zone defense. It is what they do is they come out, they press, they want to trap out of this 2-1-2 that they're playing, and Centennial is finding the gaps in it, trying to go high-low.
It's what Coach Pappas calls a flip-flop 1-2 or 2-1-1, and basically it's something Andy Landers used a lot at the University of Georgia that he has adopted. That foul called against Avery Porter.
Well, they've been very effective with the defense that they play, and I think just because of their size and their quickness, they anticipate very well out of it.
Allie Polk with a quick 5 for the Wallhawks. She got 2 steals and 2 layups to begin the ball game. She is the career scoring leader at Waterloo West with better than 2,000, 2-time first-team All-Stater, and she goes 2 of 2 from the line, and she is an 81% free throw shooter. Wallhawks make their first change. Nia McGee will come onto the floor, and she'll take the place of Charlotte Getman. And our substitutions today are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Just under 4 left to play in the opening quarter of this 5A quarterfinal game. The 3 by McKenna Clark. Her second 3 of the ball game.
Unfazed by the flying defense coming out at her. Polk was flying at her, kept the concentration and able to nail it.
Ankeny's first lead. Williams at the high post, goes into the paint, trying to defend her is Pratt, and a bump is called and a travel is called. And I think you can credit Jaden Pratt with some nice defense.
Stayed right with her, and as Williams got the ball up top, looked inside, didn't think it was there, put it on the floor, and was able to get the drive, but you're right, the defense was right there.
Pratt gives away 3 inches and certainly some strength, but who doesn't give away strength at Williams, but she did a nice job there. So now Ankeny Centennial playing ahead for the first time in the ball game with 3:10 left to play in the quarter. Nice lob inside, and coming from behind on the weak side is Hallie Polk to poke it away.
Well, they've been going over the top a lot of this zone and been able to find somebody on the backside. Hallie Polk had to come from the top and try to recover and see if she could block it. Got too much of her.
So Polk with her first foul. The Wallhawks with their second, and the free throw is not good by Jaden Pratt, who's a 72% free throw shooter and also a good volleyball player at Ankeny Centennial on a very good volleyball program. Pratt, who averages almost 10 a ball game, has an early 5 in this first quarter. And a change in the lineup for the Jaguars as Finley Blackmore will make her first appearance, a 5'9 sophomore who comes in with some good shooting ability.
Well, you have that advantage to bring in some good shooters in off the bench. About 68% of her shots come from three-point range. So look to see, even though you have that extended zone and they're covering up on the three-point line, see if they can get her open.
3-ball miss by C.C. Moore. The offensive rebound kicked out of bounds, and it belongs to Ankeny Centennial. One of the statistics that talk about the contrast in pace is Waterloo West averages 65 points a game, and Ankeny Centennial averages 54 points a game.
Well, and Centennial has always been very patient. They really are a team known over the last few years as a team that will win their games with defense and score just enough points to win. And this team is no different. They play really solid defense.
Scott DeYoung has made a career, hasn't he, on defense. The drive by Crawford and the foul called on the Wallhawks. And that's going to go against Sahara Williams.
Anytime you can challenge this defense, they don't have a lot of depth on that bench over there for Waterloo West. So that's something that they are going to maybe try to stay out of that foul trouble.
And that's 2 fouls for Williams here in the first quarter.
And they're leaving her in. So
Maya Crawford knocks them both down.
If you're thinking about it when you get the ball back on offense, or even if she puts the ball on the floor to try to drive, slide in, see if you can pick up that 3rd foul. That would be huge.
All the way to the rack for Waterloo West goes Polk, but she can't finish. And the rebound is grabbed by Pratt. Lead feed for Crawford. And a good job by West to get down defensively. However, they get called for the foul. And that one is going to go against CeCe Moore, her first. That's already 14 fouls now called against West.
They've been the aggressor, the Jaguars have. They've been going to the offensive glass. They've been putting the ball on the floor. They've been getting open inside, and West has been reaching.
Maya Crawford, a talented 5'8" sophomore with 5 points. She averages almost 8 rebounds a game and is a really good offensive rebounder. Not very tall, 5'8", but very aggressive inside.
You know, sometimes it's just a player has a knack for that, just understands the positioning and sees angles of the ball coming off the rim and puts themselves in the right spot.
So after trailing early by 4, now Centennial enjoys their biggest lead up by 4. Williams has the ball slapped away and picked up by Pratt. Inside 2 minutes to go, opening quarter. Centennial hanging right with the 3rd-seeded Waterloo West Wahawks. The 3 try is short by McKenna Clark, but the follow is there.
Avery Porter with the putback. They have done such an amazing job here in the first quarter of going to the offensive glass.
And that's been so significant against a team that rebounds really well. And one thing about Waterloo West and Centennial, these teams don't normally beat themselves. Waterloo West, 14 turnovers a game, but it's a fast-paced offense, and Ankeny Centennial, 12.5.
Yeah, both of these teams take care of the basketball. They value every possession.
The long-range 3 by Hallie Polk goes down, and she's had a terrific first quarter. That's 9 points in the first quarter for her.
Nice little step-back 3.
Wahawks stay in the zone. Blackmore with a skip pass over the zone to an open Avery Porter. And the rebound, trying to keep it alive, getting the ball tipped, was Tilly Smith, but she couldn't run after it in time as it goes out of bounds, and the ball goes back to the Wahawks. Winners of 14 in a row.
Yeah, and again, going to that offensive glass.
That's been a big story thus far, as Hallie Polk, who's been a big story on her own for the Wahawks with 9 early points, brings it up. Williams now tries to go one-on-one. In the lane, she feeds, and the shot will not go by CeCe Moore. And then in a scrap for the rebound, Ankeny Centennial whistle for the foul.
Centennial making it very tough in the middle, in the paint. Not allowing the dribble drive, or if the pass comes in, they're collapsing down. But every time Sahara Williams gets the ball and she tries to make a move, somebody's dropping off to help out just to slow her down a little bit.
Pratt with her 2nd foul, and Williams with her 7th point. And for Centennial, McKenna Clark back onto the court. And she will give Jaden Pratt a rest. One more for Sahara Williams. She has been a score of over 1,500 in her career, and her 2nd free throw spins out, and it goes to Centennial. Centennial ball with 40 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
And they could hold here, even with the 35-second shot clock. You can hold here for this last shot and see if they do that.
Centennial with 4 wins in a row, coming off their regional final victory over Linn-Mar, 35-32. And Linn-Mar is the only team to defeat Waterloo West this year. But the Wahawks came back and got revenge in the second matchup. Doesn't look like they're playing for the last shot. They're being very aggressive. The shot goes up and it rolls in by Maya Crawford.
You could see that West had shrunk down that defense a little bit. They weren't as extended as they had been to start this ball game.
West sees Ankeny Centennial go on a 5-point run. 1 second, and this shot will not count. It would not go before the buzzer sounds, and the first quarter has come to an end. And after one period of play, it's a 20-12 lead for Ankeny Centennial. We'll be back with more basketball in a moment. You're watching the Iowa Girls Basketball State Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau and the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Hey fans, Central College has you covered with career building programs and with tuition less than $20,000 a year and tons of scholarships. It's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. Centennial with a 5-point lead as we go to the second quarter.
Well, you take a quick look at stats. Centennial shooting 54%. Waterloo West hitting 67%. So both teams shooting it very well. Both teams with 5 turnovers, but the rebounding battle has gone to Ankeny with 9.
Sahara Williams with the takeaway. The pitch on the wing to Polk, it won't go, and the rebound taken by Kennedy White. White, a 6'1 senior, leading scorer for Ankeny Centennial at 11 a ball game. Centennial gave up the first 4 points of the ball game on turnovers. They've really curbed the turnovers ever since and worked their way back into the lead with that red-hot shooting. And that shot by Tilly Smith goes down. She hits 50% of her three-point shots, which is 4th best in the state.
And Scott DeYoung said she might be the best three-point shooter on their team, and she just proved it right there.
She certainly does. Polk starts to dribble into difficulty, finds Williams on the baseline, kicks it back out. CeCe Moore on the miss, and the long rebound comes to Kennedy White.
You know, I think Centennial is comfortable giving up that perimeter shot to CeCe Moore.
Kennedy has it blocked, gets it back, puts it up, misses it. The block coming from Moore. And then it's a foul called against Centennial.
Maya Crawford coming in from the backside, trying to strip that basketball, and Kennedy White, just after she got blocked, got the ball right back, just could not get the good angle to power it back up.
Dr. Anthony Pappas, the head coach at Waterloo West, showing a lot of confidence in Sahara Williams because she got those 2 fouls 4 minutes into the ballgame, and she has not left the floor. Polk on the miss, Williams on the offensive rebound, and she misses that offensive rebound effort. And there's a battle for the loose basketball, and it's a jump ball called, and the alternating possession will give it to Centennial.
And you saw a reason that he didn't want to take her out of the ball game is because she does go to the offensive glass so well. You mentioned she averages a double-double, right around 10 rebounds a game. A lot of those come on the offensive glass.
Ava Martin comes in for Ankeny Centennial, played on the state champion soccer team for the Jaguars. Centennial, the 6th seed, trying to upset the 3rd seed, Waterloo West, but it's still early, just a couple of minutes gone into the second quarter. Here's Crawford working her way into the lane.
Yeah, it just had been vacated by Smith. She was there, but she left the lane thinking she might have been lingering in there a little too long.
Polk, high-arching three-pointer goes down. And Hattie Polk, the all-time leading scorer for the Wallhawks, living up to advanced billing.
So she can shoot with a defender in her face. She's got that high-arching shot, keeps it away from the outstretched arms of the defender.
The Wallhawks now playing defensively. Looks like they've gone to more of a man-to-man now. Or maybe not, hard to tell actually, with the way they play their zone. Here's Williams coming up with a loose basketball. Comes down one-on-one all the way, and good defense that time by McKenna Clark to hold her ground and force the miss.
She did stay, she didn't move, but it just got Williams just off course enough that she was not able to knock that shot down.
And a whistle against the Wallhawks. And with the foul is Hallie Polk, and that will be her second.
So now your two top scorers in just a little bit of foul trouble here in the second quarter.
Scott DeYoung uses a lot of players. His bench isn't as deep as it has been in past years, but still he rotates his players in, keeps them fresh on the defensive end.
Well, that's what you do. When you play this tempo and this style of defense that they do, then you need to keep fresh legs on the floor.
Williams with the steal. This time she's out in front of everybody and lays it in.
And this team just does such a great job of anticipating getting in that passing lane, getting the steals.
Centennial is led by as many as 8 in this ball game. But right now the lead trimmed to 3 with a couple of turnovers. McKenna Clark on the penetration. Clark inside, nice move to score. Gets right around Charlotte Getman.
Just stayed with it, just kept that dribble alive, kept looking, surveying the floor, seeing if anything was going to open up, able to get the step around Getman to get to the glass.
Centennial really doing a good job executing their offense. As the ball inside to Williams. This time she misses on the layup, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Wallhawk basketball. Centennial, a team that shoots 41%, really scoring and shooting especially well, not their long suit, but they're doing a good job of it today.
They are doing a good job. They're executing offensively, and you know they're going to do it on the defensive end. They only give up 38 points a game.
McGee on the miss, trying to finish at the other end is Martin, and she gets fouled by Moore.
And that's going to be 2 on Moore.
So now 3 of the starters for Waterloo West, Polk, Williams, and Moore, all with a pair of fouls.
And if you're the Jaguars, you just have to have that in the back of your mind, knowing that they have a little bit of foul trouble. Maybe go into an attack mode. If you see one of those players in front of you, challenge them a little bit, because they may back off, might give you an easy look to the hoop.
Ava Martin looking for her second point. She knocks down both free throws. Hadn't been to the line much this year, just 14 times. But here in the pressure of the state tournament, calmly knocks down a pair. And we have a timeout with 3:46 left to play in the opening half. We'll be right back with more basketball. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Ankeny Centennial with a 7-point lead as play resumes. Their biggest lead has been 8. That timeout taken by the Wallhawks as they try to get things going offensively. Polk playing with 2 fouls, looks for some help. Polk and Williams, what a great combination it's been for the Wallhawks. Down low, the pass goes on a good pass to CeCe Moore for her first basket.
Well, you could see that 3 defenders converged on Williams as she got up in the air, saw Moore, and dumped a nice pass over to her.
Centennial offensively been very effective thus far. Jaden Pratt on the dribble. This is Crawford, now Pratt. Crawford for 3. High for the rebound goes Williams. She does have some leaping ability.
Yeah, she does. She went way up for that one, had great position.
Her future coach at Oklahoma, Jenny Baranchek, in the stands today. Sitting with the person who replaced her at Drake, Allison Pullman. They were seated together watching the action. Pullman had a recruit in the first game in Brooklyn Daly. A nice feed inside. Good passing by Waterloo West, and Nia McGee has her first basket.
Now West is starting to realize and recognize the double team of Centennial and starting to pass to the open person on the floor.
Skipped through the hands of Martin, but it's picked up by Porter. Porter sets a screen. Pratt comes around it. Kennedy on the baseline. Trouble holding on to it. Puts the shot up. And a foul's whistled against the Warhawks. So Kennedy will go to the line. And Polk takes her shot on the free throw line as she has been off to a great start and leading Waterloo West in scoring. White is a 75% free throw shooter on a team that shoots their free throws well. White, who leads Ankeny Centennial in scoring, looking for her first point of the afternoon. Misfires on the front end of the 1-and-1, and Williams brings it ahead for the Warhawks.
Yeah, they've really bottled her up when she's gotten the ball down low.
Williams tries a 3 ball. It's not there, and the rebound is claimed by McKenna Clark. Shot off the baseline won't go by Porter, but another offensive rebound by Centennial. And that shot rings in and out by Clark, and a follow shot put up by Kennedy White, and it's good.
That is how they have pretty much built this lead, is going to that offensive glass, getting second chance opportunities.
It was funny. That was Scott DeYoung's concern about Waterloo West, and his team is doing it better right now. From the free throw line, that shot skims out by Liederman. And it's a one-and-done situation again for the Warhawks, as Centennial doing a good job on the offensive and the defensive glass.
That was certainly part of the game plan, and they have taken it to heart. This is a team that really does like to rebound.
Yeah, it's one of their passions, and they've done it so well today.
Yeah, Coach DeYoung said it is something they take pride in, and I think they need to be very proud of this effort here so far in the first half.
Centennial being patient with their lead as they go to the final minute of the half. Pitch comes out to Blackmore. She'll fire a 3 ball with the shot clock winding down. First time we've been near a shot clock violation in this, the first year the shot clock's involved at the state tournament.
And we've talked to a lot of coaches about their thoughts on the shot clock, and everybody seems to think that they like it. Number one, it really has not been a huge factor for teams this season.
And Scott DeYoung thinks maybe for a team as defensive-oriented as his, it might be a good thing.
Yeah, and he also said, he thought, shooting percentages were down a little bit this season, and maybe just with the idea of that shot clock in these players' heads that maybe they're rushing some shots, but I think everybody has settled in very nicely.
Centennial will play for the last shot. They're surprising some people with this lead as we go to the halftime break. They've been up by as many as 8. Right now they're trying to extend a 5-point lead. Crawford puts up a shot off the glass. It will not go down. Williams with the rebound, and she will not get a shot away. And at halftime, it's Centennial, the 6th seed, leading West, the 3rd seed, 29-24.
Well, it came down to defense and offensive rebounding for Centennial. That really helped them gain the momentum of this first half, and they have bottled up, for the most part, Polk and Williams. They've got a little foul trouble to think about.
They certainly do, with 3 starters, and the 2 you mentioned among them with 2 fouls apiece. So we're at halftime with Ankeny Centennial holding a 29-24 lead over at Waterloo West. We'll be back with more at halftime in a moment. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Slate's the place for you!
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Halftime of the 5A quarterfinal between third seed Waterloo West and sixth seed Ankeny Centennial. A really good, well-played basketball game at the half, and it's a 5-point lead for the underdog as far as the seeding goes, the Centennial Jaguars.
Yeah, they had a good game plan, knowing, two veteran coaches on both of these sidelines, so they had solid game plans coming in. Then you put it in the hands of your players, and it's all about execution. And in the first half, I think Centennial did a better job of executing, and they got Waterloo West into a little bit of foul trouble. I think made them a little tentative.
I think they did, and especially Sahara Williams did have some pretty good baseline shots that did not go down for her.
Yeah, and that kind of shakes your confidence a little bit, knowing, my shot's not going down. I have to push a little bit and force a few things, and she didn't really do that. She got herself into position, just could not knock those shots down, and sometimes a shooter has a game like that.
McKenna Clark with 8 and Maya Crawford with 7 leading the way for Centennial as they lead at the half, 29-24. We'll be back with more at halftime in a moment here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Thanks for joining us for the 2023 Girls State Basketball Tournament. I'm Erin Kirtley with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We hope you're enjoying all the competitive play that you're seeing here today. We're so thankful for those who support us and help us put on such great events, none of which are more important than our longtime partner, Iowa Farm Bureau, our proud title sponsor. Here with me today is Brent Johnson, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. Thanks for joining us, Brent.
Thanks.
So we want to tell the viewers about the Iowa Farm Bureau and the support that you provide the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Why does the Iowa Farm Bureau invest in support in the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and all of our tournament games?
The Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor for the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for 18 years. We're thrilled to once again be a part of the state girls basketball tournament. But to us, it's so much more than just a basketball tournament. The athletes competing here today are among the nation's best and brightest student athletes who have a great work ethic and understand what it means to work as a team. We share the same values. Through hard work, our farmers are among the nation's best, not only in corn, hog, egg, and ethanol production, but also lead the nation in conservation. That's a lot to celebrate. And our partnership with the Girls Union gives us the opportunity to honor both.
So your support for youth and education goes beyond the IGHSAU. What other support does Iowa Farm Bureau provide Iowa's youth?
Farm Bureau celebrates Iowa's youth in many different ways. Number one, Iowa Farm Bureau, we give our students across the state nearly $500,000 in scholarships every single year. And through our teacher supplement program, we've given teachers over $450,000 in supplies and money so that they can properly have their classrooms put together for their students. In conjunction with the Girls Union and the Boys Athletic Association, we're proud to sponsor the concussion insurance. You know, there's only 7 states that even offer that. And for the 4th year running, we provide that for those student athletes at no cost to their families so that they continue to compete at a high level. And most recently, we're really excited to announce that we've given the FFA Foundation $1 million so that they can support their local chapters and ag education across this entire state so that they know what the future of agriculture means to everyday Iowans.
The student athletes participating this year are taking home some pretty neat souvenirs from this tournament. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of our favorite programs is actually the Signature Ball program. And it's a great opportunity that every student competing here today gets to have one of those signature balls so that they can have their teammates, their coaches, and mentors sign this ball so that they can carry this memory forward for them long into the future.
Well, thanks again to our proud title sponsor, Farm Bureau, and for Brent for being with us today.
Yep.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
All right, Frank, the store is yours. See you Monday.
What do you think he does in there? Think it's risky? I forgot my phone. And now you know what happens on Sundays.
Larry Morgan and Laura Leonard with you at halftime, with Ankeny Centennial holding a 5-point lead, led by 5 at the end of a quarter. Not a big offensive show for either team in the second quarter. Both teams only got 9 points apiece. And so it's still a 5-point game at the half, with Ankeny Centennial up 29-24.
Well, and you look at that second quarter, and neither team shot it well, 27 and 30% for Waterloo, 27 for Centennial. But overall, both teams shooting the ball very well at 42% for Centennial and West at 45%. But the rebounding numbers are the big thing that jump out at me.
Yeah, 19 for Ankeny Centennial, 11 for Waterloo West. I think if you were to talk to Scott DeYoung right now, he would tell you his team really followed their game plan well.
Absolutely. You look at their numbers, they have almost everybody in the scoring column. Everybody has gone to the glass. Maya Crawford and Avery Porter, both 3 offensive rebounds. So that was the game plan of what they wanted to do. They need to do that again and try to duplicate that if they want to pull off the upset here in this ballgame.
Big 2 for West has done their job. Polk and Williams combining for 20 points. Williams also with 8 rebounds. but they need to get something from CC Moore in the second half.
Yeah, they do, and she's got those 3 fouls, so she's going to be a little limited here in this second half. She's going to have to try to figure out how she can play, but they need to find her and get her the basketball.
Second half coming up, and you're watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Slady's the place for you!
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts, providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
Second half about to get underway with Ankeny Centennial holding a 29-24 lead. And you mentioned those foul issues for the Wahawks. Got to be a real concern for Dr. Anthony Pappas.
Yeah, and you can't, in this ball game, you're down at the half. You can't be tentative. You can't let that play into what you do on the floor. You still have to be aggressive, but you have to be mindful of it as well. And so, going to be interesting to see how Ankeny Centennial attacks Waterloo West and see if they go at either of those players that have the foul trouble.
Two great coaches playing against each other. Scott DeYoung, 684 victories, number 2 among active coaches. Dr. Anthony Pappas, 622, number 3. Fred Zeller at West Marshall, and they're in the state tournament field. 49th year of coaching, 753. He's number 1.
It's just amazing that these coaches, they've been around, they've given their life to the game of basketball, Iowa Girls High School basketball, and what a tremendous job they have done at their respective schools.
Dr. Pappas is only in his 43rd year, and DeYoung, the young guy, is only in his 35th year of coaching.
Only. I remember when Scott was coaching at Colo Nesco, and here in 6-on-6, both, as we mentioned at the top of the game, that both of these coaches were 6-on-6 coaches and have adapted.
Absolutely. Here's the offensive rebound, grabbed by CC Moore. Williams on the penetration, looking to get it to Moore, and it's deflected by Centennial. And, of course, Scott DeYoung has won 7 state championships, and that is more than anyone. That's the record.
Well, he's going to do his darndest here. He's gotten his team this far, and, one of the things he said was every game is a resume builder throughout the regular season, and so they continued to build their resume throughout the season, and they might be playing some of their best basketball right now.
Shot clock violation results in the 7th turnover by Waterloo West. McKenna Clark, a 4-year varsity performer for Centennial and 2-year starter, brings it up as she winds down her career, and this is her senior year.
Going to continue that career, however, at Wayne State, and going to continue that basketball career.
Pratt for 3. With the offensive rebound, it's Clark. She pulls it back out, and again, offensive rebounding, huge story for the Jaguars. Trying to take it inside is Clark. Does a good job of drawing the foul. And I believe they called it on Sahara Williams, and if so, it's number 3 on her.
I was waiting to see who they called it on as
that is number 3.
Yeah, McGee was right there, and I think Williams knew it right away, ran over to the bench, talking to Coach Pappas, and I think they're going to talk about how they want to position her and how they want to play her here with those 3 fouls.
Well, again, she played all 16 minutes in the first half, even though she had 2 fouls about 4 minutes into the game. Clark 1 of 2 at the free throw line as Centennial stretches their lead to 6. Allie Polk, headed for Bradley University, brings it up. This is CeCe Moore, who averages 10 points a ball game, but just got 2 in the first half. And again, they need something from her. Polk thought that the ball went off a Jaguar. The officials said no, and it is Ankeny Centennial basketball.
I was watching that matchup. Avery Porter had the matchup on Hallie Polk, and I was just kind of isolating on that. Porter stayed right with her and had that passing lane, was anticipating that and was looking to jump it if she could.
Williams keeps her hands high and forces the miss by Pratt, and then a tie ball called. And the alternating possession is going to keep it right where it is. Centennial, with a 10-6 record in the CIML, finished third to Johnston and Dowling Catholic, 2 other teams in the 5A field. Johnston winning earlier today, 70-48 over Southeast Polk. They'll take on the winner of this one on Thursday morning.
Yeah, Dowling Catholic is another school that's playing really well at this time of the year.
And speaking of playing well, Avery Porter drills a 3, and it's the biggest lead of the ball game for Ankeny Centennial.
Avery Porter is a athlete that was on their soccer team, their state championship soccer team, so she knows what state tournament pressure is all about.
And she's going to play college soccer at William Jewell in the Kansas City area. Waterloo West, only 1 loss this year, a 4-point loss at Linn-Mar on January the 3rd. They have won 14 in a row since. Probably have not been behind very many times in that stretch.
No, they're probably not used to playing from behind, and so, you get into this stage, state tournament, first round game, and you look up and you're down by a few points. You got to figure out how to get back, and that's how you do it. You make plays like that. You play good, solid defense, see if you can turn the opponent over.
Williams spins 360 but misses, and the rebound comes out to Kennedy White. Jaguars tried to go to a double-digit lead with 5.5 left to play in the third quarter. Maya Crawford on the dribble. McKenna Clark with the miss. The offensive rebound once again taken by Avery Porter. The shot won't go by Crawford. The follow shot is there.
3 Waterloo West players went up for it. They kind of mistimed their jump. That ball fell right to Kennedy White.
And Dr. Anthony Pappas, in his 43rd year at Waterloo West, will use a timeout as he's seeing his team beaten badly on the boards, especially with Ankeny Centennial controlling the offensive boards. So we've got a break in the second half with 5:02 to go in the third. Centennial enjoying their biggest lead. Back in a moment. You're watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Ankeny Centennial holds the 35-24 lead with 5:02 to go in the third quarter. This Wahawk squad with Polk and Williams, the 2 seniors, 84-11, their record during their career.
You have to believe that, they've played enough games together. They've been in some really tight ball games. They're going to step up. They're going to rally their team, and they've got, I know, at least 1 run left in them, if not 2.
Getman with the inbounds pass to Williams. The open look for CeCe Moore. And again, it's a one and done for the Wallhawks, and Maya Crawford comes up with the rebound.
Well, that was what they wanted to do coming out of the timeout. They wanted to get CeCe Moore a shot, and they did. They got her open on the perimeter. And I said that in the first half, that's one that I think the Jaguars are willing to give up, that perimeter shot to Moore.
Crawford with an unforced turnover, and Williams will bring it ahead. Williams was on the gold medal team for the USA 3 on 3, under 18 competition. And of course, that led to a parade for her as Polk drills a 3, and that is the first points in the second half for Waterloo West. The quick answer as driving is Porter, and it's the 4th foul coming up against Sahara Williams. And can you take her out now? I think not.
Boy, I don't know. I think if you're Coach Pappas, he is going to the bench. He's going to give her a little bit of a break. You can't afford to have her out of this ball game this early if she does pick up that 5th. So better be on the safe side and get her to the bench for a little bit of time.
Avery Porter hits the free throw. She averages 6, and that's exactly what she's got in this one. The senior, as you mentioned, a soccer star, and hits a couple of big free throws for Centennial.
So last year when these two met in this very game, quarterfinal, she had 7 points in that ball game, so she's right at that mark.
Polk off the dribble with the miss. Battling for the rebound is Moore. And again, C.C. Moore 17 against Centennial in this quarterfinal matchup last year, held to just 2 thus far today.
They've done a good job of keeping her in check. When she's down low, she's gotten a couple of looks from the perimeter, but down low, they have really clamped down on her.
And Kennedy White doing a nice job when she's had her. McGee trying to find someone. The drive, and that's going to get Getman to the free throw line.
And I think Kennedy White's going to pick that up. She reached out, tried to slow her down, got a piece of her as she drove by.
And that's another thing that Centennial has done well today. They have avoided fouls. They are not giving up free throws in essence. As so far in the ball game, West has been to the free throw line just 5 times. This won't be a free throw shooting situation.
And you look on the opposite side of that, Centennial is number 1 in 5A in number of makes from the free throw line in a game, and number 2 in 5A in number of free throw attempts. So they do a good job themselves of getting to the charity stripe.
McGee gets it for Getman, and the pass is deflected by Crawford, and it's another turnover for Waterloo West. Lob comes inside to Kennedy White.
West did not get back and get set, and Centennial just went into attack mode. They're getting the ball down the court in a hurry and getting those quick hits.
Biggest lead of the night for the Jaguars. Almost a takeaway from Polk. She'll drive, she'll miss, and White's there to clear the rebound.
Defense, we knew coming into this ball game for the Jaguars, is stifling. It's suffocating, and really the Wahawks have had a really hard time of getting any flow on the offensive end.
And now C.C. Moore gets her 4th foul. So Moore is on the floor with 4. Williams comes back into the lineup with 4. And you mentioned it's a team you don't want to foul. And Centennial's a team that doesn't give up double-digit leads against anybody very often.
No, not very often. They don't let a lot of teams come back on them. But, with the potent scoring attack of Waterloo West, that they can come back in a hurry.
Moore's got the rebound. Williams, hesitation dribble, gets to the baseline. Polk with the miss. And trying to control the rebound is Crawford, and she can't. Change in the lineup for the for Centennial, as Tilly Smith comes in, a good 3-point shooter. Substitutions in today's match brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Williams in a crowd, puts it up and misses it. And again, the Ankeny defense has forced her to miss more often than she frequently does on the baseline.
It's just the presence of them being there. I think they're intimidating her, and she needs to gather herself and just go up with confidence.
Polk has plenty of confidence to shoot it, misses that time, but the offensive rebound put down by C.C. Moore for her 2nd basket.
Well, and that's one that Waterloo West needed, and kind of keep that one in the back of your mind, because sometimes plays like that where you get that good offensive rebound and the putback provides a little spark for your team.
West so far just 5 points in the 3rd quarter, which is down to the last 2 minutes. Williams scoops it up. Williams has a 3-on-2 break. Fires it down low, and the shot is put down by Moore. So Moore now back-to-back baskets for the Wallhawks, trying to lead them back into this one as they are pulled back to within 8.
A couple of empty possessions, and Waterloo West has capitalized on that. Scott DeYoung wants to take a timeout and talk about it. He kind of feels a little momentum shift.
Absolutely. A moment ago, it was in an 11-point margin, the biggest of the lead for Centennial. And now a couple of baskets by the Wallhawks have pulled them back to within 8. As you look at the Wallhawk bench, Dr. Anthony Pappas, National Coach of the Year in 2015, has won the Naismith Hall of Fame Award, the Morgan Wooten Lifetime Achievement Award. What a job he has done for the state of Iowa basketball.
He has, and for the Iowa girl as well. And he's fun to talk to. He's got a whole lot of history that he can talk about, and he obviously knows the game inside and out. And I think young women love playing for him.
4th year in a row that Waterloo West has been here, lost in the championship game to Johnston last year. Meanwhile, Scott DeYoung, as the ball about to be played in front of his bench, is making his 23rd appearance in the state tournament. He's won state championships, 4 at Colonesco, 14 at Ankeny, or I should say state tournament trips, and the last 5 at Ankeny Centennial. What a career for both of them.
Well, both of these coaches understand the game, know how to get these players to play hard and play as a team, and that's why they've had this success.
The 3 by Blackmore is short, and the ball goes back to the Wallhawks. 1:27 left to play in the third quarter. Modest 4-point run right now for the Wallhawks, but as you say, they begin to maybe get some momentum.
You can tell sometimes when a team starts to flip the switch and get things going their way, and you can tell that West is just kind of on the verge of that right now.
I think that makes this a huge possession for both teams. Almost taken away from Williams. She's able to recover. She'll kick it on the baseline to CeCe Moore, who misses, gets her own rebound, has it blocked. Big play by Blackmore. I think that was significant.
That was huge because it was a really nice pass by Williams into Moore. Wasn't quite ready for it, but here again, another offensive rebound.
That's just been amazing today how Centennial's done the job on the offensive glass. Shot is short by Porter. So the Wallhawks once again a chance for a momentum-making basket and a 6 or 7 point run to end the third quarter.
And they can hold if they want.
Williams will take it outside the 3-point line, will miss it, and again the rebound grabbed by Crawford. And this rebounding dominance at both ends of the court, big story for Centennial today.
I think that has been the biggest story of this ball game. How it was a concern for Scott DeYoung that they might not win that battle of the boards, and here they are doing it on their own, and what a finish.
Maya Crawford, you can count it, and Centennial maybe arrest the momentum back by opening the lead as we go to the third quarter. We'll be right back with the third quarter. You're watching the Iowa Girls Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau and the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Across Iowa, you don't have to look far to find a bank that's got your back. From just around the corner to the next town over, hundreds of neighborhood banks are going the distance to ensure your future looks brighter than ever. By providing jobs, supporting local businesses, strengthening communities, and helping your dreams become reality. Here, the life you build is backed by Iowa banks. See how banks are making a difference near you at iowabankers.com.
The Iowa Bankers Association is the proud sponsor of Parade of Champions and the Iowa Student Achievement Award. We began the fourth quarter. Wallhawks had scored back-to-back baskets, had a couple of opportunities to stretch it. They couldn't, and then what a shot to end the third quarter by Centennial.
It was so close, and Crawford just ducked up and under, got it up off the glass, and they count it good. That's a momentum shift and a lift for the Jaguars.
Williams on the miss and Finley Blackmore on the rebound. So Centennial takes a 10-point lead as we go into the fourth quarter after holding Waterloo West to 7 points in the third quarter and outscoring them by a margin of 12-7. Centennial in no hurry now as they will take some time. Of course, the shot clock, a factor which wasn't last year and hasn't been in previous state tournaments. Shot clock now down to 5. And with that shot, it is short by Porter.
But used a lot of clock, and I think that's kind of the mindset right now.
And C.C. Moore scores. She now has 6 second-half points after 2 in the first half.
Yeah, C.C. Moore has come alive here. They've been looking for her.
Spinning in the crowd, Kennedy. Kennedy doesn't have a lot of points, a very conservative 8 points for her, a little under her average, but they have all been important baskets.
Huge bucket right there, and they did not get any backside help to slow her down as she made her move.
Hesitation dribble by Polk gets her the basket and an and one. Polk 11 points in the first half, but just 5 here in the second half.
And you know that Polk is going to be the one that is going to try to bring this team back into it, puts the ball on the floor and challenges the defense.
Kennedy White with her third foul. Polk, the all-time leading scorer at Waterloo West, misfires on the free throw. The offensive rebound by Williams, and she is fouled, and the foul is going to be called inside against Maya Crawford.
Williams went way up to get that and tip that ball to herself and make the move to the glass.
These two great seniors for Waterloo West not wanting to see their careers come to an end. C.C. Moore, also a senior and kind of underrated after, you talk about Williams and Polk, but she's also been a key contributor.
And she is going to be a two-sport athlete in college. She is going to go to Central and play both volleyball and basketball.
So Williams now in double figures with 10, playing with 4 fouls, and now has 11, but bear in mind she averages 21 a ball game. Timeout with 6:39 left to play. In regulation, it's a 43-37 lead for Ankeny Centennial. We'll be right back with more basketball in a moment. In fact, we're going to keep it right here at Wells Fargo Arena. And it has been a very impressive show by the 6th seed Centennial Jaguars.
Yeah, it has been, and they've just stayed within themselves. They've stayed true to themselves, what they have done all season long, and they are doing a great job. And the one thing that has done, or they have done so well, and we've talked about it all game long, is rebounding. Now, all of a sudden, Waterloo West has got a little bit of a sense of urgency within every player that's on the floor. So they're starting to scrap and get after those 50-50 balls.
And in fact, this is as close as they've been in the second half.
Yeah, and that, they've made some plays. They've gotten to a couple of offensive rebounds. They've gotten to the free throw line where they have not been a lot in this ball game.
Big possession for Centennial as they try to take some momentum away from the Wallhawks. Down the lane comes Porter. Now Pratt pulls up and scores. Jaden Pratt with a high floater to connect and give Centennial an 8-point lead.
And that's kind of her game. She's that driver-slasher type of player, was able to get inside.
Williams travels. Turnover gives it back to Ankeny Centennial. Centennial with their 5th state tournament appearance, 3rd in a row. Of course, they won it here back in 2016. And against Scott DeYoung, by the way, his next victory will make him 10th all-time in victories at the state of Iowa. He'll have 685. He hopes it comes in the next few minutes. Williams rebounds the miss by Pratt. And the referee's whistle blows. Scott DeYoung stands up quickly and says, "What have you called?" I think they just called an official's timeout.
Yeah, Sahara Williams came down, I think, on somebody's foot and was limping a little bit, and they took the timeout to let her maybe take a second and check things out, and they're going to take her out and maybe take a quick look at it.
Again, Williams headed for the University of Oklahoma. We mentioned being on that 3-on-3 under-18 gold medal team. For that, she got a parade in Waterloo and a key to the city. That's
pretty good. That's a lot to be able to get recognized for. She had a big part in that, and I think much deserving of all of that.
Out of bounds off Centennial. Williams now comes back in with 4 fouls.
Still limping a little bit, though, something to keep an eye on.
Substitutions. Today's match brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. The ball goes to Centennial. 5:45 remains.
Boy, they had her open, too, and that pass was just a little too low. Went off of her knees out of bounds.
Centennial playing with terrific poise today.
Yeah, they are. They're taking their time. They're being patient. They're moving. They're not panicking. And they're using a lot of this clock.
White trying to get free inside against Williams. Williams, don't underestimate her defensive ability. Considered one of the best defensive players of those coming into college. Nice give and go, and Jaden Pratt has the basket.
Little corner give and go, and that's what happens when you don't stand around. You continue to move without the basketball, and Pratt did that. And boy, they had an opening there. That pass was just a little too tall, out of the reach of C.C. Moore.
So Ankeny Centennial, a double-digit lead, 5:04 to play. Waterloo West, 2 timeouts remaining. Scott DeYoung and Ankeny Centennial with 4. And the possession arrow will favor Waterloo West.
You have to remember to start this ball game, Waterloo West came out with that zone, able to get a couple of quick steals to start this game, and they're doing that right now.
Nice fake to get open by McKenna Clark. And the rebound run down by Avery Porter. Is it a broken record to talk about all those offensive rebounds?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a broken record. It's the story of this ball game.
It certainly is. And I think the longer you watch basketball, the more you look at offensive rebounds as one of the key stats why a team wins or loses.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I mean, you're keeping the ball out of your opponent's hands, and you're giving yourself another opportunity to score.
Pratt on the miss, Williams on the rebound. Williams all the way to the glass, can't finish. Moore battles for the rebound, and it was knocked out of bounds by White. Moore, who averages the double-double, well into the double figures for rebounds, or I should say Williams with the double-double now, well into the double digit for rebounds and 11 points for her.
11 points, 12 rebounds.
Williams sets the screen, gets the ball back on the feed from Polk. Just under 4 to play. Turnaround by Williams is long. And again, Ankeny doing the job. Ankeny Centennial really doing the job on her defensively. They made her uncomfortable all day as far as those close-in shots.
Yeah, and Pratt had the defensive assignment and slowed her down, and as she made that spin back over the right shoulder, a defender was there.
Polk with the steal and Polk with the finish. An 18-point performance for Hallie Polk.
Then they need a couple more of those to climb back into this one. And as I said, they did it to start the ball game. They're going to have to start going back to that aggressive gambling type of defense.
Centennial will use a timeout. That will leave Scott DeYoung with 3. We've got 3:20 left to play in the fourth quarter. And you're watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau and the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
This is how I... 3:20 left to play in the ball game. Ankeny Centennial grabbed the lead in the first quarter, led by 5 at the end of the first quarter. They have not given it back. They've led during that stretch by as many as 11, and right now their lead is 8 with 3:20 to play.
You know, this we've talked about rebounds and how key they have been, but the rebounding battle is pretty tight. 33 for Centennial and 29 for Waterloo West, and 14 of those on the offensive side for the Jaguars, but they have come at key moments.
What are the shooting percentage? I have the feeling they're kind of low, which has led to a lot of rebounds.
So for Centennial, they're shooting right at about 39%, and Waterloo West at 36%. So, yeah, they're a little bit low.
So some rebounds have been there to be had for both teams.
Yeah, and the defense has been very good, thus the low shooting percentages for both of these teams.
Getman gets the foul. Centennial on the possession. And a travel is going to be whistled against McKenna Clark. So now time becoming a factor. 3:10 to play. Wallhawks down by 8, but with the basketball.
Now, if you're Waterloo West, you want to try to score quickly and efficiently. You don't want to force things. You got a lot of time left in this ball game.
Polk, who's very slippery, tries to slip a pass in for Moore. And Ankeny again, Centennial reacting very well that time. Centennial playing their patented zone, and it's been tough today on Waterloo West. Williams hesitates, drives in against Pratt, kicks it off, open in the corner for the 3 ball. Getman, but she can't convert, and the rebound taken by the Jaguars. And getting in the way, trying to knock down the pass, but unable to do so, was Getman. Getman now commits the foul.
Yeah, and the other thing that happened on that last possession by Waterloo was they made them use a lot of clock. The defense made them use a lot of clock, and they came away empty.
5 team fouls against Waterloo West, and that's probably a good thing if they want to make Ankeny hit their free throws.
And Centennial 67% from the free throw line this season.
Driving down the lane is McKenna Clark, and she will go to the foul line.
Well, now going into a little bit of an attack mode, saw the defense fly by, saw the opening to get to the rim, and able to draw the contact.
Polk's 3rd foul. Clark hits the free throws. She is now 2 of 3 from the foul line. She's a 68% free throw shooter on the season. And as Laura mentioned, headed for Wayne State to continue her basketball career next year. And she hits a couple of big free throws for Centennial. Williams into the offensive end. Now it's a hurry-up situation for the Wallhawks. Williams takes it right to the paint, gets double-teamed, shoots anyway, and misses it. And again, good job of the double down by Centennial.
They did. Every time she spins one way or the other, there is somebody there for the Jaguars. She almost got that shot to go, however.
No surprise that Centennial has done a great scouting job on Waterloo West, but they're executing it today.
You know, that is so true. You can put out the game plan on paper. You can talk to your players about it. But when they tip that ball, if you don't execute that, all that work goes for naught. But this team has executed the game plan to a T.
Number 11 goes to the line with 11 points and now hits her 12th. So 3 free throws in a row here in the 4th quarter for Clark, as Centennial tries to put away the 3rd seed Waterloo West, and she does it again. A 68% free throw shooter, but she is 5 of 6 today. Inside 2 minutes. Pratt hits the ground, and she's going to be called for the foul. Jaden Pratt picking up the foul with 1:45 remaining. And that'll be her 3rd foul. Pass too tall for Polk. Minute 44 left. Centennial 3 timeouts remaining. Waterloo West with 2.
Yeah, and this defense has slowed down the 2 top scorers in 5A here in this ball game in Polk and Williams.
Polk averages 22. She's at 18. Williams averages 21, and she is at 11.
And they needed somebody else to step up. Cece Moore did for a little bit. They were able to find her in the second half, get her some looks, and she knocked down some buckets. They needed to have another scorer to step up to help them as the others were getting shut down.
Crawford misses on the front of the one-on-one. Minute 30 to go. Polk pulls up, fires, scores. 21 for Polk, and a timeout taken by Waterloo West with a minute 23 to go. Timeout on the court. Back with more action in a moment. You're watching the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
.123 remains as the 6th seed, Ankeny Centennial, bids to knock off the 3rd seed, Waterloo West.
Well, as we have seen here in the state of Iowa, teams can come back when they're down by a lot of points with a minute 30 left, a minute 23 left. We've seen that over the weekend, and so you have to play to the final buzzer. Waterloo West needs to make some things happen to try to have a little bit of a run here in this last minute 23.
And they will press, as you might expect they would. Jaden Pratt, the talented sophomore, to inbound. She's had a 9-point performance. Offensive foul is called, trying to set the screen for Centennial.
That's something that they had seen in how Centennial sets up in baseline out of bounds, full court out of bounds plays, and Hallie Polk set up and stood her ground and took a charge.
McKenna Clark guilty of the charge.
See, those are little things, those little spark plays that can make a big difference down the stretch.
Williams wants to take it right to the rack, and she'll be called for an offensive foul. She fouls out of the ballgame with Maya Crawford taking the charge.
Boy, I'm telling you what, that they knew they needed to make something happen, and they got the ball to Sahara Williams. Pratt was standing in there, and she was right there. You can see the reaction of both of those players.
So what a play by Maya Crawford. So the legendary career of Sahara Williams comes to an end. And going to the free throw line will be Clark with the foul called against McGee. So Williams will leave Waterloo West with more than 1,500 career points, more than 700 rebounds, and a brilliant career. She's one of 24 players in the country who will play in the McDonald's All-American game. So she's got another game left in high school, but got to be a big disappointment for her.
And she will represent the state of Iowa very well, and she is going to have a tremendous career at the University of Oklahoma.
Meanwhile, McKenna Clark, who averages 9, looks for her 15th point. And she has knocked down all 6 of her free throw tries here in the fourth quarter to help Centennial put this one on ice. Polk pulls up. Not this time. It's over the backboard into Centennial. So the Jaguars will look at a rematch against the team they have played before, the Johnston Dragons.
Many times, multiple matchups over the last several years with a lot of these same players and coaches that know each other very, very well.
Johnston, an impressive win over Southeast Polk, 70-48 earlier today. Centennial has lost both their regular season matches to Johnston, but the third one comes up in the semifinals.
And what do they say? It's always hard to beat a team 3 times in a season.
That's what they say. How about McClark at the free throw line, huh? 7 of 7 in the fourth quarter, 8 of 9 in the ballgame. Man, she's automatic.
Yeah, that's something that they also, not only do they pride themselves on rebounding, but getting to the free throw line. They get there a lot, and they knock them down.
And the three drained by Nia McGee, her 5th point of the ball game. And we got a timeout with 55 seconds remaining. And we'll be right back with the finish in a moment as you're watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament, which is presented by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Centennial about to put this one away with 56 seconds to play. So looking ahead, if they hold on to their lead for a semifinal matchup with Johnston, as you mentioned, it'll be the 3rd time they've met this year.
Two very close contests, 6 and 7 points, the difference in both of those ball games going to the Johnston Dragons. And you have to know, obviously both these teams have a lot of film, a lot of scouting reports, know tendencies very well. Will have a good game plan in place.
And playing tag, McGee fouls, and that will send Clark to the line. She is the last person the Wallhawks want to go to the foul line.
No, she's been pretty automatic from the stripe here in the second half.
8 of 8 here in the 4th quarter. Clark is senior. Porter is senior. White is senior, and those seniors really kind of led the attack. And again, Ankeny playing with poise throughout the ball game.
They got down early, and it was early in this ball game. Gave up a couple of errant passes, a couple of good steals by Waterloo West, and you had to figure they were trying to set the tone, which they did, but Centennial adjusted right away.
Pratt with the rebound. A lot of one-and-dones for Waterloo West in this one, and once again, the Jaguars will go to the free throw line prior to the beginning of a celebration as they advance to the semifinals against Johnston. Coming up next in the lower bracket, the top seed Pleasant Valley against the 8th seed, the West Des Moines Valley Tigers, and then at 3:15, it's 4th seed Dowling against 5th seed Davenport North. Maya Crawford, who took that big charge a moment ago. And if there was any final question about the outcome of this one, I thought that put it away. That was the dagger.
I agree, because you could feel there was just a little momentum change, and if Williams knocks down that bucket, things are certainly different in this ball game.
Ankeny's got their biggest lead, and it's cut by Polk, who knocks down another 3, and then there's a foul by Liederman. And so Hallie Polk, the all-time leading scorer for the Wallhawks, right now with 24 points in this one.
She has got a very nice game that's going to translate very well to the college game, and I think she'll sit in nicely with that Bradley Braves team.
McKenna Clark once again to the foul line. She'd hit 9 in a row in this quarter prior to that last miss. And then she comes back and hits a couple more. So what an impressive performance today by Ankeny Centennial. So many things they did well. Rebounding, and again, offensive rebounding, number 1. That they hit their free throws. They played with poise. Never panicked when Waterloo West made a mini run. Now Kennedy will go to the line with a foul called on Getman. And Kennedy White's played a very solid game for Ankeny Centennial.
She has, and it's kind of been a quiet game, but I think she knew what her role was, what her job was, to try to clog up the middle, slow down CeCe Moore, slow down any dribble penetration of Sahara Williams.
Yeah, she did a terrific job at that end of the court against a high school All-American. Now the subs come on for Waterloo West. Kalia Gladney comes on, so does Shantiera Wright. Also there is Danica Raggi. as Dr. Anthony Pappas giving his team, some guys who don't get to play a lot, an opportunity to step out onto the court and play in the state tournament. An experience, whether you play in it for 3 games or whether you play for 11 seconds, never quite forget.
It's always something that I know every player that has a chance to step onto the floor at the state tournament will always cherish that moment.
Raggy gets the rebound for the Wallhawks, who will end their season at 22-2. They brought a 14-game winning streak into veteran. And Allison Landers banks home a 3 at the buzzer, which makes the final score Centennial 59 and Waterloo West 51. Terrific performance today by Ankeny Centennial as the 6th seed knocks off the 3rd seed.
Yeah, both coaches shaking hands, a lot of words and congratulations for Scott DeYoung from Coach Tony Pappas, and just knowing that it was a battle out there, and these two veteran coaches put together a nice plan, and the Jaguars were able to do what they've done all season long, use their defense to win ball games.
Win 685 for Scott DeYoung, 10th all time in the state of Iowa, and of course he's number 2 among active coaches. So the final score is Centennial winning this one by a final of 59-51. And now let's go over to the PA for the awards presentation.
In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gene Berger and Gary Ross.
Season high. So
congratulations, head coach Dr. Anthony Pappas and the Wallhawks from West Waterloo on an outstanding basketball season.
Let's see it again. Who's got it? Oh,
McKenna Clark, 16.
16, season high.
So she had, what, 20-some today?
Clark?
And now McKenna Clark will advance her team to the next
20,
round.
so that's a season. Her 20 are a season high for her.
Centennial fans, your team advances to the 5A semifinals and will play Johnston on Thursday at 10 a.m. And on behalf of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we thank you, everyone, for coming out today, for your support and attendance of your favorite team. As a reminder, please exit the arena so we can prepare for our next game. Thank you.
So it is Ankeny Centennial advancing to the semifinals against Johnston with their 59-51 win over Waterloo West. McKenna Clark put the game on ice at the free throw line in the 4th quarter, and that led to a career high for her.
At 20 points for McKenna Clark, those 12 free throws, but had a really nice first half from the floor shooting the basketball, and then did it on the back end, stepping to the charity stripe. But 10 points for Maya Crawford as well, and you talk about the scoring machine of Waterloo West and the duo of Hallie Polk and Sahara Williams. Polk with 24 points here in this ball game. Williams with 11, but also had 13 rebounds and 6 assists.
And played for the most part with 3 fouls, and then played a lot with 4 fouls. It was not easy to keep Wallhawks on the floor for Dr. Anthony Pappas. They had to make the decision to stay with him because depth is not a great asset for the Wallhawks. And so they had to play with those who had brought them this far, and it just wound up falling short.
Yeah, and they had a few little runs in them, but they just could never get over the hump. They kept knocking on the door. They just could not bust through.
And here is a team in Waterloo West that averages 65 points a ball game, held to 51 today.
Well, and that's something that Centennial's done all season long. They only give up 38 points a game on the season.
And so it's the defense that they say wins championships. Well, the defense stood tall today for Ankeny Centennial.
And that's exactly what they've hung their hat on all season.
So on behalf of Laura Leonard and our producer, Jose Guzman, all of us here at the table here in Des Moines, I'm Larry Morgan. Thank you for watching our live coverage of the 2023 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.